to the Playground of Potential. My name is Matthew Salzman, and this is my playground. For those that tuned into the channel last year, you may be wondering where I've been. Well, in September of last year, I lost my voice for about a month and a half. That was a scary time for me. As a poet, my voice is my superpower. In so many ways, it's who I am. So, to lose it really scared me. I wondered if I'd ever get it back. And the real mystery of it was that, my throat didn't hurt. I felt fine. I was vital and active, doing breath work all the time, and I went to a doctor and they didn't really have an answer for me. But I remembered this little bit of a book that I had read over the summer. Essentially, the thesis was that all the ailments that we experience, they have an energetic root cause. So I had to ask myself, what could be my root cause? Why my throat? And it hit me over the head. I hadn't been speaking my truth, not fully. I was letting boundaries be crossed and swallowing the frustration. That swallowing of that frustration got lodged in my throat. Well, once I addressed the root cause, within 1 week, my voice was 100% back to normal. Within a single day, it was getting better and better and better until it was not an issue anymore. The whole episode got me thinking about my own healing journey. And it's that I want to share with you today. It begins in the back of a math class, writing poetry. These 2 lines stuck out to me. My life is going in a circular pattern, running round like the rings of Saturn. I realized, in retrospect, that was the first inkling, albeit unconscious, that I had bipolar disorder. The pattern arrived probably 2 years earlier, and it wouldn't be for another 3 years after that poem that I would finally go to my parents, because I was suffering. My grades in school, each depressive episode led me down this trail where I couldn't get things done. And then each manic episode built enthusiasm that I could finally, this year was different. I was going to get the best grades ever. All A's. And then a depressive episode would hit and I'd lose it. I'd lose the motivation. So finally I broke down before my parents. Fortunately, they were very, very supportive. They wanted me to see a psychologist. I'll never forget, they said to me at that moment of time, we're just glad it's not drugs. Unfortunately, it would become drugs very shortly thereafter. Because when I went to this psychologist, rather than diagnose me with bipolar disorder, he diagnosed me with ADD and prescribed me Adderall. Ooh, Adderall. It's like a few molecules off from meth. It's an amphetamine. And sure, it helped me focus. but I'm fairly certain that it would help anyone focus. That's what it does. So, with that focus, my grades began to get a little bit better. And I made it through high school with limited problems from that point forward. So, it looked all hunky-dory. I went off to college. It was there that I was struck by another manic episode. This one a little bit more severe. And this one including a gambling episode where I lost $6,000 in a single day, most of which was debt. Fortunately, my parents are those supportive type, and they were able to help me out, and for that I'm forever grateful. Over the next year and a half, I would work off that debt. And I didn't make it through that first year of college. I ended up getting an alcohol violation, and because I didn't want to put up with, the unjust disciplinary system, they kicked me out. So I went back home and regrouped. And it was there that I went to community college. And, well, things started to improve. I found my creativity. It was there that I began to find my voice. There were two mentors that I met there. One of which was a creative writing teacher who expressed to me something so beautiful and profound that up until that moment I hadn't seen before. He brought to my attention the warrior poets, the Vikings, that would charge into battle chanting poetry. And it opened something for me. It opened my voice for the first time. And I found my artistry. My grades improved. I did better. So, well, I went off to another 4-year college, Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia. And, well, it was there that I began to abuse Adderall more and more. Back in my first month of college, back in Christopher Newport University, that first college I went to and got kicked out of, my girlfriend early on taught me how to abuse Adderall and stay up all night. Well, during that time at Savannah College of Art and Design, I began to take that to the nth degree. I'd be up for 4 days straight. Manic to holy hell. An odd occurrence happens the following year, in 2010, where I actually experienced the same thing, but without the Adderall. Now, there's a lot tied up with that. In a lot of ways, that particular experience, where I was up for 4 days straight without Adderall in my system, was actually a spiritual experience. But that story is for another time. As it pertains to my healing journey, it was at that time that I was finally diagnosed with bipolar disorder and prescribed mood stabilizers. If you've ever experienced mood stabilizers, they flatten your affect. They take away your emotions from you, or at least the range of them. So art school, lo and behold, was a difficult time period because I'm struggling to create without the resources of my emotions to create from. So I inched my way towards finally graduating from Savannah College of Art and Design with a bachelor's degree in film and television. And yeah, I I stayed in Savannah, Georgia for another 2 years after that. I was trying to create a production company, and I had some limited success with a little bit of music videos that I was doing for local artists, but it was 2014, right towards the end of it, that I lost my job, my day job, because I didn't wake up after staying up all night on Adderall. Well, I lost my job in a worse time, and also during that time frame, the girl that I was interested ghosted me. So I hit a rock bottom. I hit a all-time low. I downed 4 months worth of Adderall in about a week and a half. I was depleted completely of all my joy and of all my neurotransmitters that could have created any motivation to get myself out of this situation. I spent the next 3 weeks in bed, barely getting out. Fortunately, my good friend who I was living with at the time convinced me to go home. So I did. I went back home, and good old parents supported me once more and brought me in. And I dropped it all. The Adderall, the mood stabilizers. I knew they weren't the answer. I began seeking what that answer was. And, well, things began to go well. My creativity came back to me. I was worried about this deeply, because I had tied so much of my creativity to the Adderall consumption that I was worried without it I wouldn't ever be creative again. Fortunately, within a few months of getting back and dropping it all, and getting back to some semblance of sobriety and centeredness, I was able to create again. A psychologist that I was seeing at the time, who was helping me through this process, turned me on to a studio called the Laughing Buddha, where I learned meditation and laughter yoga from a woman named Jessica Lloyd. Thank you. These were the first tools that I had received that would give me an all-natural way to regulate my mood. I found myself being more creative than ever after a laughter yoga session. So, within 2 years, I had saved up enough money to go traveling. And for another year after that, I traveled the United States and left Williamsburg, Virginia, and it brought me here to Taos, New Mexico, where I now found myself. My poetry has come to life here. I've come to life here. I've acquired a great deal of wisdom and tools that have helped me along the way. And now it's my time to share those tools with you. The videos of this season of Playground of Potential are going to cover my healing journey even further. I'm going to share with you all the tools and the tips of the trade of self-mastery as much as possible. As well as offering self-mastery sessions where I hope to guide individuals to their own highest potential. If you're interested in these, please reach out to me at playgroundofpotential@gmail.com. Yeah. So I'm going to read another poem from my book. It's called I Am Healed, I Am Whole. I sit here with an empty mind and a full heart. I want only to do my art and live, laugh, and love. I am ushering in the new, navigating new paths to pursue, manufacturing meaning as I'm gleaning the moment for a ripe harvest. Curiosity is the magnetism that pulls the hungry eyes from all around, and without a sound I sit, and bit by bit I feel more fit to free myself from fear. And then the words appear, filling the space they will inhabit forever. It's time to sever the sorrow and say hello to tomorrow. A new day and a new way of viewing myself. Silence of the skin reflects the silence within. Peace and calm are the balm of my soul. I am healed. I am whole. If you're interested in this book, it's on Amazon.com. It's under Matthew Salzman. Potential, Poems of Self-Mastery and More. If you're interested in a signed copy, please reach out to me at playgroundofpotential@gmail.com. Or if you'd like a individualized poem on a topic of your choice, you can reach out there. Well, I hope you liked the poem, and I hope you liked the video. If you did, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And yeah, share this video with others. Share it with those that you think might benefit from hearing about my journey. I look forward to sharing more and more of the wisdom that I've accrued with you all on this channel. So, till next time.